I will be taking this session again because the earlier session was disturbed. Okay, so due to some connection issue, so now I am taking this question. We have taken two questions together. So this is the first question. Okay, so to solve such kind of questions, you can see these terms are few of the terms are repeating. What are those terms? First of all, this term 7 power 1 by 2, then again 7 square, right? So this term is coming again and again. Here after this, you can see into the third place 7 power 1 by 2 and again root over 7 square. So again this set is repeating, right? So let us do one thing. Let us assume this entire set as equal to x. Okay. So let us assume root over of 7 power 1 by 2 into root over of 7 square into root over of 7 power 1 by 2 into root over of 7 square dot till infinity as equal to x. Okay, let us assume it. Let us assume the entire as given to you as equal to x. So when we'll be taking the first step, the first step should be like this. The first step should be like this, right? Into the first step, take one of the set, take one of the set, right? And after that, for rest of the repetitive terms, put it as equal to x, what we have assumed. Because if it's no, if there is no loss in taking all those numbers till infinity except one, right? So that's why into the next step we can write the above question as 7 power 1 by 2 into root over of 7 square, right? Then again this set is coming root over of 7 power 1 by 2 root over of 7 square like this, right? Now x, right? And this all will be equal to x, right? Now we will solve this. Here you can see this root, start solving and start eliminating this root. First of all, into this step, what we can do, we'll take the square of the LHS and RHS, right? When you square it, on squaring, what we will get? This root will be eliminated and we are left with 7 power 1 by 2 into, because this root will be cancelled by this 2, 7 power 1 by 2 into root over of 7 square into x. Let me write it over so that, write it over here so that you can understand. This root will be giving you this 1 by 2 multiplied with this square, right? So 2 will be cancelled out and this will be equal to how much? This will be equal to x square into the RHS, and here this 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, right? So here we are left with 7 power 1 by 2 into root over of 7 square. So what is that? That means 7 power 2 into x whole power, for this root it is 1 by 2, right? And this is equal to x square. Mind it, this 1 by 2 is not this one because here 2 is already cancelled, right? Now this will give you 7 power 1 by 2 into, this exponent will be multiplying to the exponent of 7 is 7 and to the exponent of x also, right? So this will give you 7 power 1 by 2 into 7 power 2 into 1 by 2. This outside 1 by 2 will be coming inside and multiplying with the exponent of 7 multiplied with x power 1 by x power 1. So this will give you x power 1 into 1 by 2, that is x power 1 by 2, and this is equal to x square, right? Now into the next step, since the bases are same, here 7 is the base and 7 is the base, so the exponent will be added. So this 1 by 2 will be added with this one. So here 2 will be cancelled. So into the next step, we can write 7 power 1 by 2 plus exponents are adding up plus 1 because 2 will be cancelled out. And into the RHS, we have x square divided by this x power 1 by 2 will be coming into the denominator of RHS, right? So this will give you 7 power 1 by 2 plus 1, that is 3 by 2 is equal to x power 2 minus 1 by 2, because this 1 by 2 was into the denominator and this will be subtracting from the exponent of x into the RHS. So this will give you 7 power 3 by 2 is equal to x power 2 to 4 minus 1 x power 3 by 2, right? So this will give you the value of x. We have almost solved it. Before taking the next step, just take the 2/3 root of the LHS and RHS. When you take the 2/3 root of LHS and RHS, what will happen? 7 power 3 by 2 multiplied with 2 by 3 and into the RHS x power 3 by 2 multiplied with 2 by 3. What we have taken over here? I am mentioning the step. We have taken or took 2/3 root of LHS and RHS. So when we have taken 2/3 root, this 2 by 3 will be multiplying to the exponent of 7 into the LHS, and this 2 by 3 will be multiplying into the exponent of x into the RHS, right? So this will give you this 2 will be cancelled, 3 will be cancelled, and here 3 will be cancelled, and 2 will be cancelled. So this will give you the value of 7 as equal to x, or we can write x as equal to 7, right? In this way we have solved this question, right? For any query you can put up into the comment box, students. And now I am taking the second question for today's session, right? So what is the second question? Let me write it out. I've already put a sorts of that, but I think that is not sufficient because in 1 minute of time it's very difficult to understand, right? So that's why I'm explaining my questions over here very clearly. Now I'm taking the second part of this question. Question number 2. What was question number 2? The question number 2 was that we have to solve root over of, there is a very big root, okay, the bigger root over of 10 plus root over of 25. You can see this root is continuing like this, root over 25 plus root over of x plus root over of 154 plus root over of 225, right? This, and this is equal to 4. Now let us solve it. So here you can just start solving from the end. So from the end, because this is not continuing till infinity as per the previous question. So solve the last part first. So here you can see root over of 225. Root over of 225 is 15, right? So the above expression will be, can be simplified as root over of 10 plus root over of 25 plus root over of x plus root over of 154 plus root 225. What is the value of root 225? That is 15. So we will be putting this 15 over here. This is the same 15, right? Now this is equal to, into the RHS we have 4, right? This will give you into the next step root over of 10 plus root over of second term 25 plus root over of x plus 154 plus 15. What is the value? This is root over of 549,516,1, root over of 169, and this all is equal to 4, right? Again, into the next step, this can be further simplified because you know the value of root over of 169 is equal to how much? that is 13, right? So we will be using this. Root over 169 is 13. So the this above equation can be simplified as root over of 10 plus root over of 25 plus root over of x plus, instead of root over 169 we will put this 13. Okay, so this will be placed over here in place of root 169, and this will be x plus 13, and all this is equal to 4, right? Into the next step, what we will do, root over of, so here, before going further, now what is the next step what that we can resolve? So here you can see x plus 13, we can not further solve it unless and until we can look for some other alternative option. So on reaching this step, what is the best which we can do? We can just eliminate this root, this root, the first root, right? So to eliminate that root, we can simply square it, square LHS and RHS. When you square the LHS and RHS, what will happen into the root? Just I am not writing this root because I will be writing it into the last step. How you can see 25 plus root over of x plus 13, right? This was the LHS, whole power what? This root, that is 1 by 2. Since we have squared it, you can see square, just mind this word square, that means this will be multiplied with 2, right? Is equal to, since we are squaring the LHS, we need to square the RHS also. So this 4 square will be there. So I'm writing this in a different color so that you can easily understand and predict the steps, right? So here you can see these two and these two will be cancelled out, right? And into the next step we have 10 plus root over of 25 plus root over of x plus 13 is equal to 4 square is 16, right? Now what we can do, you can simply into the next step we can push this 10 from LHS to the RHS, right? So into the next step we have root over of, you can write this one because 10 is going to the RHS, right? So we have 25 plus root over of x plus 13 is equal to 16 minus 10, isn't it? 16 minus 10. So this will give you into the RHS first, write 16 minus 10 is 6, right? And we have into the LHS root over of 25 plus root over of x plus 13, right? Now what is the next step that we can do? The doable step is that we can remove this root, right? So to remove this root, what we can do, just square again. We have already squared earlier one time, so square again LHS and RHS. When you square it, what will happen? This will be looking like this: 25 plus root over of x plus 13, because the root is already present over here, so that represented by 1 by 2 into the exponent, and when you are squaring it, this is multiplied with 2, right? Sorry, this is multiplied with 2, and that is equal to 6 into the RHS. We need to square the RHS also, so this will be giving you 6 square. Now into the next step, before proceeding to the next step, you can see this 2 and this 2 can be cancelled into the exponent of LHS, right? So we are left with 25 plus root over of 25 plus root over of x plus 13 is equal to 36, right? So into the next step, let us see what we can do. We can push this 25 from the LHS to the RHS. So we have root over of, let me write with red color only, root over of x plus 13 into the LHS will be left, and into the RHS we have 36 minus this 25 as pushed to the RHS. So this will be subtracted into the RHS, right? So this will be giving you 36 minus 25, that is 11, right? 11 into the RHS, and into the LHS we have x plus root over of x plus 13. So we have already taken 2 times a square, but into the next step what we can do, we can remove this root, right? So again a squaring, or a square both LHS and RHS. Why we are squaring both the LHS and RHS? Because this equation will remain valid only when you are taking a square of the LHS, then you have to take the square of the RHS also. Then only this equation will be valid. Anyway, so this will give you x plus 13 power 1 by 2. This power 1 by 2 is for this root only, this root, right? And this is, since we are squaring, this 2 will be multiplying into the exponent, right? And this will be giving you, 11 into the RHS, and since we have taken a square, so this square will be into the RHS also. So here this 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, and into the RHS we have 11 square, that can be equal to, that is equal to 121, because 11 into 11 is 121. And into the LHS we are left with x plus 13 only, x plus 13, right? So here we have solved this question, almost solved, because we are left with x into the LHS, and when this 13 will be pushed to the RHS, this will be giving you 121 minus 13, which value will be coming as 108, right? So the value of x for this question is calculated as 108, and in this way we have solved this question, students. I have already put a sorts of these questions into my session yesterday, okay, but I think 1 minute of time is not sufficient to explain the question very clearly, okay. So I think you liked today's session, and we have solved two very important questions of root and exponents, okay, and this will definitely help you to understand the basic concepts. So if you find it useful, you can like it. Thank you so much for watching, students. Take care. Bye bye. Happy learning.